Woo! Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance, everybody. If you haven't noticed today, looks like one of my stocks went down pretty significantly. And I'm prepared for all the hate and the drama. What stock is this? Alibaba. That's right. Chinese company. Basically, well, not really Amazon of China. A much more profitable Amazon of China. Okay. A marketplace. Digital marketplace. Baba just got freaking annihilated. Okay. And what I see happen on YouTube is whenever stocks go up, they're awesome and you should buy them. And when the stocks go down, you should sell them because that means the stock went down and you lost your money. Okay. That is the dumbest freaking thing I ever heard in my life. All right. Why is Baba going down? We all know why Baba's going down. Okay. It's not really about the fundamentals. We all know the fundamentals are delicious and superstitious. And if you dispute that, you're probably smoking crack. Okay. The biggest fear is that Baba's going to be delisted. It's going to be taken off the New York Stock Exchange because, you know, China and America or United States, excuse me. America is the whole continent of North and South America. Anyway, China and the United States are not totally interconnected and, you know, are really incentivized to, you know, not really screw each other over in the long run because they're so connected. But whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. So people are scared Baba's going to be delisted. There's lots of FUD, as you people on the internet like to call it. And people are freaking scared. They're terrified. Well, you know what? I don't think there's a reason to be terrified. And even if all this delisting happens, you should never have individual stocks as more than a very small percentage of your overall portfolio. As a matter of fact, Baba's only about 2.5%, 3% of my portfolio right now. Most of my stuff is in tax-advantaged accounts, and I invest in total world stock market index funds. But I like to speculate individual stocks, and I believe personally that Alibaba is going to be a big money maker. Okay, I think a lot of these fears are overblown. Now, let's go look at my stock and see how amazingly I've done. Look at this. So Baba's down 8% today, down to 112, okay? Over the past week, it's gone down 16%. Over the past month, 33%. It went down, sell it. Over the past year, 57%. Jesus. Now, I actually went and bought some more Baba. Call me crazy. I'm a crazy boy. I went and bought more Baba. My cost base is now in Robin Stock. And the reason I do Robin Stock is just so convenient to buy stuff, but I need to close this down. So my cost basis is now 190. I think the stock is going to be worth way more than that in the future. My total return, 41% negative. I've lost $2,600. Now, and actually I've lost more because I have Baba and other accounts too. Now, I want you to keep one thing in mind. There is a difference between realized and unrealized gains. A realized gain is when, or loss, is when you sell a stock at a gain or loss. You actually go ahead and do the transaction and you sell the stock and you collect the proceeds, okay? If the proceeds are less than your stock basis, you have a loss. If they're more, you have a gain. You've realized and converted that unrealized gain into a real gain. An unrealized gain is just basically a fake gain. Like think about a stock that goes up. It went up. Did you make money? Of course you did. The stock price went up, but if you haven't sold the stock and collected the money, you really haven't realized that gain, especially in a market that can be highly volatile, like a stock market, okay? Stocks can explode and they can freaking crash. They can go everywhere. So when I look at this and I say, okay, I believe this company is worth way more than $190. And my cost basis is actually lower over at Fidelity. I think it's like 177. I think this company is going to be worth way, way more, okay? And the stock price is going to be way, way higher in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I don't really know when, but this company is a powerful cash-generating machine, and it's located in one of the fastest growing markets outside the United States. Well, the United States isn't growing that fast. It's one of the fastest growing markets in the world because there's a lot of people in China that are moving into the middle class. Their population actually isn't growing that fast, but there's lots of people going from poor to middle class. And when you go to middle class, you spend a lot of money. And they're probably going to spend it all on Alibaba. Okay. So when I see this, I really don't give a crap. I really don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm tempted to buy more, but I'm going to be maxing my IRA soon, so I'm not doing that. So it literally doesn't bother me because I think very, very far out. Now, if you get spooked by crashes like this, okay, and this stock could go even lower. I mean, it's at 112. It could go to 60, 50, 40, 30. Who freaking knows where this stock could go? If that freaks you out, you need to stay away from individual stocks. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. As a matter of fact, before 2020, I never bought individual stocks. All I did was max my tax advantage accounts and buy total world index funds. That's all I did. And I saved a ton of freaking money and I did very well for myself. And I didn't have to worry about stress like this. Oh my God, is the stock ever going to go up? I didn't have to worry about that because I own the world. And yes, the world market can go down too. But I think in the long run, the world market's going to be just fine. Unless there's like a nuclear, extermination. But if this bothers you, and if you're tempted to sell when a stock goes down, and you're tempted to buy more when a stock goes up, you don't need to be buying individual stocks. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still have a very fruitful retirement and never touch this stuff, okay? But me personally, it's like, hey, maybe I'll just speculate. I think this stock is a banger. And in the long run, I think I'm going to make a lot of money off of it. But you do what you got to do, okay? Don't get all butthurt if the stock goes down. You told me to buy it, strong man. All right. So why is the stock falling? Okay. Baba stock keeps falling as delisting concerns mount. Here's what to know. Baba stock's getting hammered. Reports suggest that Chinese regulators will restrict companies' ability to list overseas, raising the prospect that Alibaba and other groups may be forced to ditch their listings on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. Okay. So this all started, it's been going on for a while, but it all really went to a head when China asked Didi, basically the Uber of China, to delist from this New York Stock Exchange. And my understanding of the story is Didi, the Chinese government warned Didi, hey, we want to make sure that your app isn't leaking personal private security information of our citizens. And it probably has military applications too, and whatever. But Didi went ahead and listed on the New York Stock Exchange anyway. It didn't really address the Chinese government's concerns about privacy. And the US government does this as well. And China, the government got mad because they're really concerned about security issues because they don't want the United States potentially getting data where they can track their citizens. I know, okay? We do that too. Pretty crazy. But that's what happened. So now China's like, you need to delist. You're ugly and dumb, DD. So get off this New York Stock Exchange, all right? So that's what's happening with Didi. And since Didi's getting delisted, now they're like, oh my God, well, what if all the other companies get delisted? Oh my God, Baba. Oh. Now, I think this is a massively different scenario than it is with Didi. Why? Number one, Baba is a much, much, much larger company. Okay. I'm sure there's some privacy data that, the United States could potentially steal from Baba and use to track its citizens. But I think DD is way more risky when it comes to security, just because you literally can freaking track people wherever they go, where they're driving, what time they drove, when they drove it, who it was. You could really use that data for like military applications. Baba, it's like, okay, I see Chris bought some underwear. Well, now the national security is destroyed. That's one reason why. So I think the company's way too freaking large. Okay. I don't think China wants to disincentivize Western investors who have a lot of money and capital that can be used by China to fund their growth. I don't think they want to scare these people away. All right. So sure, there's this temporary downtrend. Stocks getting freaking annihilated over massive fears. But if you truly believe this is not an issue and you buy into the stock, you could potentially make a ton of money. You could also lose all your money. It's very possible, or a big chunk of your money. That's a risk. But if you believe that this is overblown, this is an outstanding opportunity, okay? It's all about what you believe. Now, I always say speculation should be a small part of your portfolio. That's why you do that, because of stuff like this. What if you went all in Alibaba right now? You'd be crapping your pants because your stock's down 40%. And what if it did delist? Well, maybe you might get freaking totally annihilated. But if it's a small part of your portfolio, like it is mine, I mean, I have, what do I have? Well, I did have a lot more invested in it, but how much should I actually invest in this? Let's see. 33.5 times 190. So I'd invested 6,300. Damn, I put a lot of money into Alibaba. And then I probably have like over 10,000 cost basis in Alibaba right now. I'm a madman. So, but if you have a small part of your portfolio in it, you're not worried. Like, I don't care. In 27 days, 28 days, I'm going to max my IRA, my wife's IRA, and buy VT, the Total World Index Fund. Okay. I'm going to max my tax advantage account, my 401k next year. And that's going to be in index funds as well. I'm not worried if a small part of my portfolio is temporarily down because I believe it's going to be temporary. All right. Another recent development facing one of China's largest companies concerns variable interest entities, a corporate structure used by Alibaba and other Chinese groups to list offshore and sidestep Beijing's rules concerning foreign investment. China is planning to ban companies from going public overseas using the VIE structure. Bloomberg reported Wednesday, citing anonymous sources. Now, let's see. China's security regulators denied Bloomberg's report. Now, I know we can't just trust China altogether, but sometimes magazines have an agenda. Now, don't call me a conspiracy theorist, but if I wanted to make a ton of money off of a stock, and I saw this stock that, was money cash generating machine, and I had the ability to swing investors' moods and then buy in once the stock crashed, I don't know, maybe I'd be tempted to do it. You can't trust any freaking magazine, okay? I mean, look at all the stupid news sites or news, outlets, CNN, MSNBC. They're all gross and stinky communists, okay? All newspapers have an agenda. They're not unbiased, sources of information. You can't trust them, okay? You can't even trust Barron's. But you need to look at the situation and do your own research and really come to your own conclusions about what's actually legit, what's real news, what's real fear, and what's garbage. I think it's freaking garbage personally, but whatever, sue me. So Bloomberg cited anonymous sources that China was going to ban companies from going public, and the Chinese security regulators denied it. Okay. So what is the VIE structure? Well, you can actually go look on a channel called Capital Mindset. I actually had them on here a while back. You can go check them out. They really go in depth to it. Now, they actually don't support buying Baba, which is fine, whatever. But they can really explain to you what the VIE structure is. But basically, it's like a shell company and a shell company and a shell company. And you don't really have true ownership of Chinese shares like you do. You're owning the company through a bunch of contracts, a bunch of convoluted contracts, basically. But if that's the only way you can get access to China, I mean, I'm not against doing it, but you can make your own decision. But you can go watch them to learn like the actual really in-depth details if you want about the VIE structure. All right. American investors who buy a Baba stock, in fact, own a stake in an offshore shell company that has a contractual relationship with the Chinese operating entity. There you go. That's a VIE in a nutshell. The SEC moved to finalize rules Thursday that could see foreign companies banned from trading in the U.S. or delisted if their auditors fail to open up the books to American regulators. I think that's more brinksmanship. I'll be perfectly honest. China and the United States are insanely interconnected, okay? Richest country in the world, United States, superpower, emerging superpower, China. We trade like freaking crazy, okay? Even though we are rivals, I don't think it's a good idea to basically attack each other like this. I think we can both grow and be prosperous together. Now, a lot of this stuff is brinksmanship. Oh, China, you have a very bunch of large companies listed on our stock exchange, and a lot of our investors in the United States are invested in these companies. But you need to open your books, and if you don't do that, we're going to ban you. It's freaking brinksmanship, okay? It's a bunch of stupid politics. Look at every time there's an election, every time somebody runs for office, there's all these insane, accusations. Oh, communism, Biden's a communist, blah, 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 whatever. Trump's a fascist. And then, the person actually gets elected, and it turns out that a lot of the brinksmanship was a bunch of BS. I think this is that as well. But, you can make your own decision, okay? So shares have collapsed by 50%. That's right. Now, I went on this Seeking Alpha I'll actually put this link, I think, in the description later. But you can actually learn more about what happens when a company gets delisted, okay? Now, the funny thing is here, he also repeats, China's own securities regulator chimed in on the matter, saying that a ban on foreign VIEs was not being considered. But whatever, like I said, you can't trust China. So here's her little post. The Chinese Securities Regulatory Commission. So I can't read that, but I'm assuming that's what the translation is that they're not going to ban it. Okay. What happens, if you're wondering, what happens when a foreign stock is delisted? If you hold a foreign stock and it gets delisted from a U.S. exchange, you still own the stock. A stock's listing status has nothing to do with ownership rights. Your holdings are still valid. However, you lose the ability to trade the stock on U.S. exchanges, and its New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ ticker disappears. In this scenario, you may still be able to trade the stock over the counter. Literally, there's a counter. And if you want to trade the stock, you have to hand it over a counter. Okay. Over the counter markets. Most brokerages allow OTC trading, although not all stocks are supported. Actually, I can buy penny stocks on Fidelity. I looked up 3 OTC stocks, blah, blah, blah. So Volkswagen, Sears, these are all examples of over-the-counter stocks. They have these like weird ticker symbols. Like I think they're one letter longer or one letter longer. But that's basically an indicator it's an over-the-counter stock. Okay. So based on it would appear that some of these over-the-counter shares can be traded while others can't. A lack of support may have something to do with a company's market cap, blah, blah, blah. If BABA were delisted and you persisted in holding it until the bitter end, that's me, your broker would roll you over to the OTC shares, allowing you to trade them that way. This is pretty much what happens to investors still holding a stock when it's delisted. In BABA's case, there's another option. Converting BABA shares to 9988 shares. So there's actually other stock exchanges around the world. I don't know if you knew this, but 9988 is the ticker symbol for Alibaba on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Each 998 share is worth 1/8 of a BABA ADR. So it's like worth 1 cent now. I'm just kidding. This means that you can have your broker convert each BABA share you own to 8 998 shares. Then you will have regular exchange traded shares, so not over the counter, which could be a pain in the butt, that trade during Hong Kong business hours. My brokerage doesn't have a button for converting shares. Blah, 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 blah. There's a bit of legwork involved, but it's fundamentally possible. What all this means is that BABA's delisting is not the end of Americans trading BABA stock. If it is delisted, then you'll still be able to trade it over the counter or in Hong Kong. It may become less convenient to trade the stock, but it may still be possible. It sounds like the end of the world. I'm really terrified, ladies and gentlemen. So, I see these clowns come on my channel and they're like, the stock went down, so you're stupid. But Tesla went up, so you should buy Tesla. Yeah, you're so stupid, strongman. Come back to me in 10 years, losers. Anyway, let's address some questions. Holy crap. I would love to wrestle Strong Boy. What? Are your shares? My shares are on the New York Stock Exchange. I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. I own them on Robinhood, so they're probably New York Stock Exchange. Well, yeah, of course they are. You don't tell anybody to buy individual stock. You tell us to buy BT. You're not LaFraud. I'm not worried. I don't care. He's a Hong Dong share kid. You and Jeremy getting slaughtered together. I'm actually not getting slaughtered. Bob is a small part of my portfolio. The difference between me and Jeremy financial education is that he does these massive YOLOs into these unprofitable companies. He's freaking insane what he does. And he thinks he's a genius because he bought Tesla and Tesla went up in an irrational bubble. So now he thinks he can just do whatever he wants, YOLO into whatever he wants to. And he's always going to 10X because he's Jeremy LaFufu. You compare that, where he's putting highly concentrated bets in unprofitable companies, to me, where I say max your tax advantage accounts, buy total world stock market index funds. I like VT. And you can speculate with 5% or less of your portfolio. Massive difference there, okay? I think the world market is going to be much higher, both in nominal and real terms, 30, 40, 50 years in the future. And I can't guarantee you that any of LaFufu's stocks are going to be up. They could be gone. The companies could go out of business. He's a freaking gambling degenerate, all right? Big difference between me and LaFufu. I own Baba. I would not give in to fear of the media. Yeah, screw the media. A bunch of freaking losers. Whole market, yeah, market's getting crushed. I don't know. I enjoy it. I hope the market crashes. I'm sick of stocks always go up. And yeah. I want the market to crash, and then I just chunk in massive amounts of money into my tax advantage accounts and buy the world on the cheap. Wouldn't that be awful? Just getting stocks at a discount that I'm not going to sell for 30, 40, 50, 60, or even 70 years if I live that long, because strong, man, I work out. I have 50 shares. News I wonder if Baba might follow. Not going to lie, a bit spooked. Keep me from buying more at the moment. I mean, it's a risk. I'm not going to say, oh, it's okay, it's not going to happen. But that's the risk you take buying individual stocks. That's why you always limit your speculation to 5% of your portfolio. I'm not worried in the slightest. I don't give a crap. I mean, even if Baba got annihilated and went to zero, okay. I mean, yeah, I lost money. I'm pissed, but it's not a massive part of my portfolio. But if you have a portfolio like Jeremy LaFufu's, where you have 20% of your money in one stock, you can't really recover from that, especially if you're just a normal person that doesn't have YouTube ads now. Please do the ARK ETF today. Ugh, ARK. She needs to go away. Just switch to crypto. I searched tattooed nutsack, and there's actually a video of somebody getting a nutsack tattoo. I think I might sell my Baba shares and buy tattooed trucker's taint sack instead. I love frozen nutsack food. That would be a very wise position. That would be a very wise decision. I think you should do that. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, one more thing. If you're watching, you better like the freaking video and subscribe, okay? I know it's hard. Very overblown. I agree. My time horizon is like my life. I don't care if the stock goes down. I have absolutely no idea what to do. I mean, I can't tell you, but just focus on maxing your tax advantage accounts, okay? Max your Roth if you qualify for it. You might make too much. Focus on your 401k. And think about why you bought Baba in the first place. And if you bought it just because somebody told you to, okay, maybe you should reconsider it. But if you truly believe in the company and you think the fears are overblown, I don't see a reason to sell it. But that's ultimately your decision. Baba was a deal at 200. Yep, it's a freaking steal. Ooh. Michael Berry will say we're in a massive bubble and a crash is imminent. We're definitely in a freaking. The United States market is stupid right now. It's just, I hate it. I hate it. DD will be delisted. It's only down 12% because it will be in Hong Kong. Good point. Good freaking point. And looking at that article, I don't know how accurate that is, but I mean, you don't just like lose all your money. It doesn't just poof into nothingness. Okay. I got puts and calls now to play the bounce. Yeah, I'm not a fan of calls and puts and all that crap, but I mean, nothing against it. If you can see Lisa Lufu will have lots of competition down at the truck stop. Maybe. God, there's so many freaking comments. Let's see. Anybody buy Neo? 22 max 401k. Yes. See, think about it, guys. If you put $20,500 into your 401k and you put $6,000 into your IRA, and then you put $6,000 into your spouse's IRA, and then your little Baba investment goes down, would you care? No, that's what I do. I don't care if Baba goes down temporarily, okay? I'm owning it for the long run. If I lose my money, oh, well, I still max my 401k and my IRA, all right? Speculate with a small part of your portfolio. And like the freaking video. Yes, the media outlets manipulate. Of course they do. They're freaking scum. I hate media. Buying Baba will make you down to the truck stop with LaFufu. I mean, if you YOLO'd all your money into it, maybe, but if you keep it to a small part of your portfolio, no. ARK and the other grip down 20% in 1 month. It's inevitable. I mean, that was going to happen. Why is Tesla not being affected by all the Chinese regulations? That's actually a good point. Don't they have like a ton of sales in China? The thing is, Tesla is it's a bubble, okay? It doesn't do anything that's rational. It's just, it always goes up because it's the future. But Tesla is a joke. It's a freaking joke, all right? But Tesla's going to do what Tesla's going to do, and then whatever. Meatspin is buying daggers on live. I mean, if he bought a stock that was below its intrinsic value and it crashed, okay, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm actually going to make a video on DocuSign after I go to the gym. I need to work out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your insight. You're welcome. I mean, trades. You trade, bro. These YouTube scammers need to be exposed. Oh, that'll happen. Don't worry. If you're already maxing your tax advantage account, you can't chunk any more than you're already putting in. Well, I mean, if you have more money set aside, then yeah, you have like if you max your tax advantage accounts, you have to invest somewhere else if you have more money. And you can still invest in a taxable account. It's still better than nothing as long as you are buying good stocks. Got wrecked on Baba. Tattooed nutsack is number 1. Switch your Baba to tattooed trend. Would you buy the dip at Smile? Hey, no! That company's horrible. It's worth 0 in my opinion. Not meat spin. Jeremy said that people won't wear masks. People. I know. I made a video about that. That's pretty hilarious. Dude, it's not over till the fat guy from AMC sings. You're talking about a guy with the red butt. Baba is the GOAT. You're popular, Chris. I know. I have 44 viewers. Can you believe? Look how far I've come, ladies and gentlemen. I'm almost at Meatspin's level because he's so much smarter than me. You should all get together and make a crypto called Lizard Coin or Clown Coin. I'll think about that. I just bought $1 worth of Baba. Bro, you could have like $2 in 50 years. I mean, that's pretty impressive, man. Hodl. Yep, I'm hodling. Tesla has a gig plant there. Yeah. Should I sell Tesla? I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell. I would sell that freaking garbage if it was my choice, but that's your choice. Do you still watch Stockmo? No, I need to do a video on him. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to the gym. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about me. Don't worry about the FUD, okay? And if you are, then whatever. You do what you got to do. And y'all have a wonderful day. Cheers.